I'll be honest, I'm sure that there's one sight that a lot of people wish they would have saw, and that is Steve Austin versus Bret Hart one more time, because both times that the Hitman that the Hitman challenged Steve Austin, whether it was Survivor Series 96 or WrestleMania 13 in 1997, Bret Hart got the victory. But much like if we actually got to see Brian Pillman versus the Rattlesnake at WrestleMania, for the WWE Championship, I think a lot of people wished that they would have been able to see Bret Hart versus the Rattlesnake. That they would have been able to see Bret Hart versus the Rattlesnake for the WWE Championship. I know I can't be the only one that believes that. That if Bret Hart stayed, that we would have seen Bret Hart versus the Rattlesnake when Steve Austin actually won the title. Because also, just imagine if Steve Austin actually won the title from the Hitman. That's one thing that I'm sure a lot of people wish they would have seen if Bret Hart would have stayed in WWE and did not end up going to WCW like it actually happened. Because that kind of ruined the opportunity for us to see Bret versus Steve. Whether or not WWE could afford it at the time, honestly, that's a moot point. As the actual point is, the better point is, it's not about if they could afford it. It's about if things were different. If Bret was able to, maybe take a pay cut for a couple months, or just be in a different proximity for a couple months, while things got better. Because a few months after Bret left, Mike Tyson came. So things could, shit couldn't have been that bad if, a few months after Bret left, Mike Tyson was here. You know what I mean? I know things would have been different if Bret didn't leave. More than likely, things would have been different if Bret didn't leave, but the fact of the matter is, whether Bret left or Bret stayed, the one thing that people still would question is Bret versus Austin one more time. Is if and yes, I know the one thing that's missing is the second match between Bret and Austin was a submission match, not just a normal singles match. But I don't. Yeah, this is a normal singles match. Yes, I remember now. I honestly have never seen the Texas Rattlesnake do that. I have also not really played as Steve or played with Steve that often, so. Stunner! Here's the cover! And Bret Hart kicks out. Bret Hart kicks out. Austin is angry. Austin is frustrated. Austin is mad. But as I was saying, I never really played as Bret Hart or Steve Austin, so the idea of knowing what to expect when playing as Bret Hart or Steve Austin is a little bit far-fetched for me, because I honestly did not know what to expect from playing as either one of them, because I never really played as either one of them in this game, as Bret takes down the Rattlesnake with a running bulldog. Small package by the Hitman, surprising the Rattlesnake. Small package by the Hitman surprises the Rattlesnake. Swinging neck breaker, takes down the Rattlesnake. Knee right to the side of the head. Jumping knee to the side of the head of the Rattlesnake. And a 1 count. Keeps down the Rattlesnake only for a 1. Bret Hart's got to do a bit more if he wants to defeat Stone Cold Steve Austin. Austin. Bret went for the back elbow. Thez press. Thez press. Thez press. Thez press. Lou Thez press. Bret kicks out. Bret kicks out. Again, I feel like if there's anybody next to The Rock that knows the Texas Rattlesnake, it is the Hitman. If there's anybody that knows The Rock, if there's anybody that knows Steve Austin better than The Rock, it's the Hitman. Because in coming up, in making himself a superstar, there was nobody that hit Austin more or hated Austin more than Bret the Hitman Hart. Bret Hart with a big high elevation leg drop off the top rope. No! What a close what a close 3 count. What a close 3 count there from Bret Hart to the Texas Rattlesnake. Pile driver, pile driver, pile driver takes down the Rattlesnake. Pile driver takes down the Rattlesnake. Pile driver takes down the Rattlesnake. Is this too close to the ropes? Bret's going for the sharpshooter. Bret's going for the sharpshooter. Bret's going for the sharpshooter. But he turned away from the ropes. He turned away from the ropes. It's not too close to the ropes because he turned away from it, and Austin reversed the sharpshooter. Austin reversed the sharpshooter. Bret rolls out of the way of the double axe handle. Reverses the Rattlesnake. I don't know what Bret went for there, but either way, Austin reversed him. Austin gets reversed again. Running Bulldog by the Hitman. Running Bulldog by the Hitman. Hitman hits the jumping knee. DDT plants him. Bret Hart plants him with a DDT. Lateral press and a 2 count. What a close 2 count. What a close 2 count by the Hitman. Bret Hart, Bret Hart, Bret Hart. Right in the middle of the ring, pretty much. Right in the middle of the ring, pretty much. Right in the middle of the ring, and the Rattlesnake is submitting. The Rattlesnake is giving up. The Rattlesnake is giving up. Bret Hart gets the victory. Bret Hart gets the victory. Bret Hart gets the win, defeating Steve Austin, and I believe evening up the series. So if you want to see it at the end of the trifecta between Bret Hart and Steve Austin, maybe that'll be a submission match, and maybe, just maybe, well, maybe just maybe we'll see him again. But either way, that is it for this match, and I will see you in the next one.